Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the TFI podcast. And today I'm joined by MK. Oh, you're not MK.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the back door was open, so I kind of slipped right in. Yeah, so it was open. I was like, hey, okay, I'm just gonna waltz on in here. So how's it going, everybody?
Why'd you have to use that phrasing?
Listen. It's not my problem. You forget to lock your doors. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
God.
You're right. So I am joined today here by SpookyDman, who also goes by the name Trans,
Hey.
and he's done a plethora of things for us at TFI, but also, Trans, you mind telling us why you're here today?
Oh, okay. So crazy thing that happened. No, basically, MK ran into some problems. And so I had pitched to him what if I can step in, just to get something going, how it is with stuff like that. And after some persuasion, some good old back and forths, he's like, hey, the torch is passed to you. It's like, oh boy, I don't know how this is gonna go, but here I am.
Like, I'm sure there was some persuasion because, like, when MK and I had a call the other day, I was like, so let's do the podcast, Thursday night. I'm off work. So-and-so. MK's like, oh, no, my computer's still busted. And I said, oh, okay, you want me to get someone else or I can run it by myself? And that was the original plan at first, was just to kind of solo this episode. And MK's like, no, you're not getting Trans. No, because I want to be there when Trans is there. No, I want to be there. Then what do you want me to do? But then I'm in a voice chat with some other friends, and they're like, Sam, we would like to be part of this too. I'm like, okay, just open the floodgates, why don't you?
Just get everybody in on this. Everyone.
Everyone. Just literally everybody. TFI and Friends podcast. Yeah, so for those who are unfamiliar with the SpookyDman here, but recognize the voice, Trans has done voices for us for quite a few years now. I believe. I think the first time you voiced for us was as just regular Optimus in the first Gigawatt, right?
Was that? I thought it wasn't. I thought it was Jazz first.
Was it Jazz? Oh wait, was it Jazz in Origins?
Yes, I believe it was Jazz in Origins first. And
you know what?
Then, yeah, I believe it was Jazz in Origins, and then I believe it was also. I think it was also Jazz. I think it was Jazz twice, then Optimus, unless Covenant came out before Gigawatt, or yeah.
I think Covenant came out afterwards. I think
Afterwards, okay.
Afterwards, yeah. But no, I remember I started bringing you on for voice roles is because, mainly for Optimus is because you have voiced as Optimus in Coolerite's work. And then when we were working on the Gigawatt script, he's like, to kind of change things up, why don't you bring in Trans as Optimus? And you kind of cemented yourself for multiple projects as Optimus in our work because there's just something so like warm and friendly about your Optimus, which is why I brought you in for the Christmas special one as well. Driving home for Christmas.
Yeah.
with Santa Prime. But your most recent role, I believe, was Scourge in Hearts of Steel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. No, Hearts of Steel Scourge is so fun. I remember, I was told a while ago that, you enjoy the character of Scourge. So,
yeah,
you were my first pick. So, that leads to a question, Trans. So, because I feel like I was told this a while ago, but I may have forgotten. So this is great to talk about. What is it exactly that got you into voice acting, and more specifically Transformers voice acting?
Well, mainly that got me into voice acting, other than just watching it, from different shows and just doing impressions and everything. But I know with Coolerite, when we were doing stop motions. I think the only impression I ever messed with was the attempt at an Optimus one, and then Coolerite, he rocked the Starscream, And just kind of like from there, it's kind of like a little duo thing, just kind of messing around with it, see where it went. But it'll always be but it's one I always enjoyed doing, like just the Optimus. But that's the main thing got me into voice acting, just kind of just messing around, doing saying dumb things as an impression of your favorite characters, type of thing. Like in like God, I know, like for example, like in one of MK's work when I was Optimus, it's like a goofier. I think like two to three people I did like more of a goofy Optimus from time to time. But yeah, that'd be the, I'll say the main thing to get into it through stop motion first. Just kind of fill out the gap because you only knew so many people at the time that could do the voices.
My favorite role of yours is still as Bumblebee in MK's Christmas special. It's Christmas. Like you have a range that like I wasn't like expecting, because like I think every time we brought you in, it was always for a character with some sort of like deep voice, like Jazz and Optimus and like Scourge, and you did Jurassic Spark Bulkhead as well, which is my favorite character that you voiced for us. But then we brought you in as in Rollout 3 as Red Alert, and that was when it was more of a higher pitched voice coming from you, which is unique because I hear that character and I think it's not a character I'd really would have trans voice act, but it just works.
I believe, yeah, I think that's the, yeah, I think that's like the more, I guess, normal tone I believe I've done. At least at yeah, TFI. Other than that, it's been more of the deeper voiced characters. I would say, yeah. But like, like you bring up the stinking Bumblebee from the Christmas special. Because I'm pretty sure when I did that line of dialogue, it's Christmas thing, I'm pretty sure I got lightheaded at the end of it. 'Cause I'm pretty sure you hear me run out of breath. Because how much I say that. It's Christmas.
It was so good. Um, especially, I know there's that other one where like you're Bumblebee and you're fighting Bruticus.
Oh, that's it's that's the other goofy one with the freaking beat does like an uppercut on Bruticus in that one. I was just like Bumble you can or whatever he says. That's goofy freaking video. But like I liked about going back to the at least a recent Rollout 3 with Red Alert, it's like that's the most like I won't say normal tone I would say I've done. I won't say thing I would say in a long time for it. So it just needs to kind of like for the most part just speak instead of like doing a voice that kind of like grinds the vocal cords a little bit.
Like your sound wave.
Yeah, yes, it's worse because I don't haven't practiced doing sound waving like forever, so it's worse. It's worse because I've been slacking on sound wave.
I believe you voiced as Soundwave for TFI once, and that was in Shattered Glass, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
was not in I believe part. No, that was in part 3.
Oh no, that was 3. Into the Breach. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta get you on a Soundwave more, to be honest.
Oh boy, my vocal cords.
So when it comes to voice acting for you, like what is it that you prefer? Do you prefer voices that are more your normal range in voice, or do you like things that are more impressions, or do you like the opportunity to experiment and like discover what more voices and techniques that you can use to portray a character?
I would say I pretty much like the opportunity to more to explore more because of the fact I also do like because I believe most roles that I do, let's say be more of that Optimus esque range, and so I like the opportunity to experiment to do. I guess it's to say other voices. I think each time, at least when I can, like in the Gigawatt, yeah, like in the times I was Optimus in Gigawatt, this regular Optimus and Shattered Glass. I tried changing it up, changing it to where it doesn't get as boring for me. Like I'm just doing the same thing over again. At least I try to. For how he sounds, like I think with my Shattered. So for Optimus, I just do like a regular. I try to do a more regular. I guess almost heroic. At least I try to with that one. And then the Shattered Glass, I did like more of a aggressive, like more I guess kind of grovelly tone. And then I I know with Bulkhead, cause like that Optimus-esque tone is kind of like the general voice. I said the general bass I have for a bunch of my deeper voices, like Bulkhead. Bulkhead was pretty much that, but you got to put a little more heft behind it a little bit, kind of thing.
Isn't that the bomb? It can do more.
It can do more. Oh,
Oh god, I love him so much.
or an Scourge. I think Scourge in that like range of voice, I would think was the more taxing one because it's like I'm talking raspy, but trying to maintain the Optimus-esque sound. But it's I think that one was just tough for that one. But I like to change it up. I like to change the time to mix it up and stuff. Like I said, when you had me do Red Alert, that was I was actually happy when you asked for kind of the regular tone in the voice. I say I really get to do that. Yeah, I think I think I really get moments like that. Mostly to be kind of like sometimes be like little parody-esque voices, like like Bumblebee, little goofy Bumblebee, and like in other stuff, like or like, it'd be be like an MK stuff, or be like Jimmy, and Cooler Right stuff. But yeah, just anytime I get a chance to like a have the opportunity to try out, pretty much the voice I don't do much overall, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were saying about Optimus and Shatterglass Optimus there kind of reminded me that that's something another like Optimus voice actor that I've used has done in the past as well, and that was Zachary Fuller as Optimus in the Interstellar remake. As Optimus, he spoke with his normal optimal as Optimus, he spoke with his like regular Optimus voice, but then as Nemesis, it was more of a slower kind of tone to it. While it was the same voice, there were some different inflections there, and you did the same thing for the Gigawatt trilogy. And to this day, my favorite role of yours is still Jurassic Spark Bulkhead. Just Bulkhead, like you as Bulkhead, and then Crosshair's Productions as JP93, and just how much the two characters hate each other. And just the sass between the two is so great, and I'm honestly glad we waited to get the Wrecker version of Bulkhead, the more camoed out look, because it looks like one of the vehicles from the second Jurassic Park film. And it's just it can do more.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Now, I've asked you this before, but like, what other characters do you feel like that you would want the opportunity to voice more? Not just in TFI works, but like maybe other people's projects as well. Because you have expressed, and I'm still looking for a good G1 like Ironhide role for you.
Mm-hmm. For that one, 'cause I think it's interesting. I think only recently I'm opening up. Granted, I didn't extend my hand out there for it, but like I'm more open to voicing for other people. 'Cause before I kind of keep it between like a group of friends for a while. But like I'm more open to for example like Ironhide. That's definitely one I would like to do. Just anything that'd be different from that, because only recently I'm only open up to voicing other stuff, and like I'm kind of picky with certain things, because like I don't, because it was before. I think a couple of times I've voiced or did lines for other people. Some of those things kind of went dead in the water time to time. So like kind of like I don't like wasting time, but at the same time it's like I'm not trying to rush anybody to do what they got to do in case they got things going on.
Yeah, you like knowing that like the time you spend like dedicating to a role, you like knowing it's gonna come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Like yeah, in regards to that, because that's the main thing. But yeah, and other people's stuff's outside of that, like whether it be something I can do like in the regular tone or whatever. Because I think MK, I believe he mentioned this in episode 8. Yeah, because we're on 9. Yeah, I think the numbers are right. I believe. Hey, man, I'm thinking about it. Because I know he mentioned like we were trying to like to audition, like, and just kind of like spread our wings a little bit more, and just do kind of a little bit of whatever. Not just Transformer specific, but where we are at the moment. Like Transformers is like the main thing. The more attention that we got on, I guess, on our names nowadays, type of thing. So hoping to expand that. Hope I answered your question. I think I may have talked too much on that part.
No, it's all good. So, like, is like professional voice acting something that like you want to get into?
Yes. I would definitely like to do something like that. Yeah.
So I one other question I want to ask, and I hope MK's okay with me bringing this up, despite the fact he's not here. Um, but without, of course, getting into spoilers for more of the comic book, because poor MK hasn't been able to read them due to working on the dub. But I recently recorded my lines for the comic book dub, and it was really different recording lines for a comic book because you can't improv. You can't warp a line to flow better for yourself because that's not how the comic is written. So in your experience, what's it like for you? Because again, you're Optimus, to no one's surprise, in the Skybound comic dub. What's it like for you translating a comic book, dialogue into voice acting for you?
Honestly, it was really odd. Like, it's one thing sort of like where we talked about it, like, in, I guess, in concept, like, oh yeah, no problem, just gonna be just like reading off the script or whatever for it. But it's just the fact that like everything's already set. It's like it's kind of like dubbing, or not that is dubbing, but like going over like like I know in shows and everything they have like the lip flaps, so they mimic, they sync their voices to like the word flaps, like an animation. It kind of felt something kind of like that for it, because it's like was a primer to get hit, he has to say something like ah, whatever type of thing, like he's coughing or whatever, kind of thing. But it was very odd. Got really confident going into it, like, man, out of reading, I'm holding the comic, I'm flipping through the pages as I'm doing the lines. Okay, like page number 4. Okay, oh, Optimus gets freaking kicked in the face by Starscream. Like, oh man, what does this even sound like? Like, is it really is it really like an accent, or maybe something else entirely different? Kind of the different ways you can pronounce stuff. So I'm like, I don't, like, we'll see what happens, kind of thing. But yeah, it was very odd.
There's one part in issue 1, because we can talk about this one, where Optimus and Ratchet, they transform, and Spike and Carly, they're in Optimus, and he like drives like off, the ship and kind of a cliff. The entire panel is Spike and Carly screaming with the giant text in the background. And I'm thinking, oh no, I need to record myself actually screaming. I can't flub this. I can't just go because there was multiple A's and multiple H's in this all in caps, and fills the panel. I'm thinking, well, I can't record this in my house with people present. So I took some of my recording stuff and I went into the garage and just closed it, and then just did like a 3 to 5 second take of just a scream, and did multiple of those, and to make sure no one on my street thought someone was being murdered in my garage, I proceeded to yell and cut after every single time. But then I realized it could sound worse, because once I yell and cut, they're thinking, oh my god, he did it. He cut his fingers off. That's why he's screaming. And he said cut because he's done. They're all cut off.
Gosh.
Have you ever had a weird experience where you have to scream a line, but it was just awkward for you to do so?
Yes, numerous times. Like, the be moment, because at least for me, I have to wait till so many people are in the house, because only some of them, only a few know I do the voice acting thing. So there'll be times I have to go and tell someone, hey, there'll be one of the rules of Optimus that I done. It was, I can't remember. I think it was either from, I forgot whose work it was from, because multiple people that had me do it. But like, I will have to purpose, like, hey, if I'm screaming, everyone know that I'm okay. You hear me screaming. I'd be like, just shouting like harder, because like shouting my heart out the whole time, and it just like, ooh, like, all right. The screaming is out of the way now. Everyone can calm down. I'm not dying. I didn't lose a leg this time, or something like that.
There have been multiple times where I've like had to go upstairs and be like, I'm voice acting, I'm not being slaughtered. Like, it's okay. Especially when I'm recording lines for First Aid where he's screaming his head off. Like, roll out what might have been, and where First Aid just completely loses it because of the circumstances. I was like, okay, I am not doing this when anyone's home, and I'm not doing this in the garage because my neighbors will hear it. So I waited till like an opportunity came where there was nobody home. And I'm like, okay, very, very quickly, I'm gonna record these lines, scream my head off, do the lines, and call it done. And then I did it, and I thought, well, I have like maybe 20 more minutes at the house to myself. So the same day I recorded First Aid's what might have been screaming lines, or the same recording session I recorded Bumblebee's screaming lines from Finest Hour when he finds out, that like Sam was killed. And it's really kind of awkward because once you scream and you've said the line and then you're done, it's just quiet. It's just really quiet, and then you listen back to your recording and you're thinking, oh, so that's what I sound like, pissed.
Yeah. Or like, okay, another like an example. These are the lines while screaming. Like doing grunts and stuff, like in part 2 to 3, a Shattered Glass. Doing the Optimus stuff. It's just like this the most aggressive the aggressive lines, or like the certain lines I would say, but like, okay, listen, everyone knows it's like this is not the real me. I'm saying right now, I'm not venting anything out by saying, by me screaming my head off, or like sound like, if I sound like I'm getting jumped, it's fine. It's not. No one's beating me up or whatever. But then, if you were to watch one of those films, I am getting beat up a little bit. We can look at you, Megatron. But yeah.
It's funny recording impact sounds. I think my first experience with recording a lot of those was when we were doing the Halo Iniquity stuff, with the assassination like fight scenes, and I had to record a lot of like like all that kind of.
I don't remember that cut.
It's the alternate cut, but I find myself like I get into it bodily. Like I'll start flailing my arms. I'm thinking, well, I can't use that take because I hit the mic. Can't use that take because you hear my sweater fluttering around as my arms are flailing as I'm going. Yeah, and it's always funny because there are some actors that will trim up their lines, and I know Trans, you do a little bit of that. And people like Aiden, who trims his lines, doesn't leave much of a gap between each grunt. So the lines just go, Man, it sounds like he's getting punched by the Flash. It's just one after the other, and it's so good. I think there was one day I put multiple, like, I think I put yours, and then I think like Coolerites and some others, like during the editing of Gigawatt 3, and it was just multiple recordings of from 3 different people. It did not sound appropriate.
Oh my god.
This also sounded very painful. Like, it was great because talk about overstimulating audio. Oh god, but yeah, it's so that does raise another question. So, do you personally prefer to trim down the recordings that you send to people?
Yes, like I like to trim down these as much as I can without making it sound like if you were to watch like little videos online, like voice clips in video games. It's always like it's like like to being beat up with like. I like to trim it down like just enough at the least, but also for the fact that like I don't want to make it too long to where it's gonna be tough to send. At the same time, that's the main thing why I trim down a good chunk of my lines for that, just so that you get sent in a nice condensed package for the most part. Kind of thing, yeah. Like just a little trim, little editing, take around that background junk.
It's always great when you send bloopers with it.
I think I've only done bloopers once.
And that was the Bulkhead, and they were so good.
Yeah. No, there was, I forgot which. There was one I think I did for you, and I think I saved my screaming lines for the end. I think. I forgot which one. But I was like, okay, are these lines here? And I think that I Kermit the Frog in one. One of my.
You did?
Yeah, this is. I think it's like. I think it's like, okay, I'm now gonna be screaming now, and here we go.
Yeah,
and
that's
one,
the
and
one.
a two, and a three.
I think it was for Scourge. I'm pretty
Was
sure
it
it was
for?
for
Oh,
Scourge.
that makes it so much funnier. That makes it so much funnier. It's for Scourge.
Okay, because you. For context, people, all I hear in his voice recording is just him, just grunting as Scourge, like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Okay, I'm all done the screaming now. Okay, we're gonna just move on now. When did Scourge become Kermit the Frog? Ugh, Kermit the train, I guess. I don't know.
Kermit the train here.
Shoot.
What was your name again? Cliff Jumper, was it?
Cliff, are you okay? I'm thinking he can hear you, bud. Get on closer. It just always reminds me, because like there's some actors that really trim down their lines. Like there are some that really heavily trim their lines, like Aiden and Christmas Wolf. They will cut out any bloopers or mistakes or flubbed lines, like, and there's hardly any gap between the two lines, so they're always just like line, and I like that, but at the same time, I love to hear mistakes, and I think MK is the biggest culprit of this, because MK will send me the raw audio, and the first 2 to 3 minutes is never line reading.
2 to 3 minutes.
It's always like he'll hit record and then just be like, okay, Sam, I'm gonna get the lines ready, and you'll hear him setting up, do practice lines, sing random songs, talk about Rollout Dreadwind, try to persuade me to do certain things, and then 2 to 3 minutes in, he's like, all right, line 1, I'm ready, okay. It's just like, man, you took a long time to get there. Like, I will, because I use Adobe Audition to record my lines, and if I have to, like, scroll down the script to get to my next line, I'll, like, pause the recording, find my next line, and then hit play, so the gaps kind of automatically are just gone, because, like, I pause and unpause. But, like, I remember sometimes you and I, Trans, will work, like, we'll be in a Discord call while you record the lines, and what I find is kind of funky is Discord doesn't pick up screaming or high-pitched voices all that well. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I'll ask you to do a yelling line, and you'll be like, the Seeker, Scourge. How was that? And then I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that was great, Trans. We can move on. Like, it's at those times I have to trust your judgment. But it's when you record fight sounds in a Discord call, it's just like it sounds like those perfectly cut videos.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
cuts on the impact.
God, like, I think that's somewhat adjusted on Discord. I know I was recording some lines for Cooleright once. No, actually no. Yeah, it was the most recent thing they record lines for Cooleright, and I did a yelling line in that one. So unless you were just being really nice, he said he heard it. And he's like, oh yeah, that's it right there. I'm like, all right, cool. At least you heard it this time, yeah.
It's a very Cooleright thing to do. Oh yeah. That was good. But yeah, no, I love it because it's just, sir, Cliff on the track, piece of shit. It's just so funny to listen to because you'll say your screaming line, it'll cut off, there'll be 2 seconds of silence, and then you go, how was that? Was that good? I'm thinking, I don't know, I didn't hear it, but my response is always, yeah, sounds great, Trans, let's move on. But like, I also like most of the time, like I'll give you a script and be like, all right, well, whenever you can, just send them my way because you've got a good judgment on like you on how you feel a line should go. It's just I remember there was one time we were in a call and I'm talking about a role and you're like, oh good, another TFI role where I die. I'm thinking, oh no.
I'm joking. It's fun. It's fun. You know, the voice the characters. Like, oh, like man, that guy's dead again. Like, well, there goes another death right there. Because I'm going 3. I'm already at 3 strikes. Can we go for 4? Can we get past that?
But yeah. But yeah, no. Other than voice acting trends, you're also something of an artist yourself.
Oh boy. Yeah. I guess you could say that.
You actually supplied like the earliest designs of one of the original characters from our book, Vega.
Yeah.
Designed her very British.
She is very British, and you know, British with a little top hat. You know, like the little top hat. Oh
Yeah, and you did like you've done all sorts of stuff, and I think one of my favorites is your kind of not redesign but more interpretation of Age of Extinction Grimlock.
yeah, yeah. That one. Yeah, I think that one was the because I like the challenging of like stylizing, simplifying the character. I think he was the first. I think the first main one I messed with that was like specifically supposed to be like a complex version of the character, kind of thing. And then you know, in the little facial expressions that he has,
That sucked.
there it is.
Like I remember there was sort of a redesign thing you did, but this is for something else that you're working on. You kind of did an Infernicus.
Yes. Oh yeah, the Infernicus. I remember. I think I worked on him mostly live, not live, but you know, like in a call with some of the other with the fellas. But yeah, that one was fun. Because when it's making this redesigns, it's fun just pulling inspirations from like the initial stuff, and then stuff you just think just will look cool all together. For that, because it's funny because as fun as it is doing those redesigns, it's really tough on that throwing everything everything in the kitchen sink into a redesign for little projects and stuff.
So that raises a question. So like, you know, you want voice acting to be like a career option for you. But when it comes to art, because like you've been sharing a lot of your art on like Instagram and such, and I've been, you know, sharing it because it's really, really great. And you did your own interpretation of Trichotomus last year. And so it's like, what are you hoping for with your artwork itself? Is it something that's just kind of a hobby on the side, or something you kind of want to expand a bit more as well?
That is also something I want to expand on a bit more because it's kind of between the voice acting, because I pretty much gauge between like which one I can, I guess, produce faster. In the voice acting, that'd be the one thing I want to aim towards more. But the art right at the moment is hobby, but like I want to get faster. I'm to get faster and share more things publicly because I'm in like a project with some other friends, and like I think I showed it to you before. I did this big roster of characters, and I've yet to share them all. To share those, specifically. But yeah, I'm hoping to like, you know, maybe one day, or no, if I get the confidence, that's the main thing. What is on, and like maybe open up commissions if anyone wants to try to do something like that, because I need to build up more for that. But I'm hoping these get. If voice acting take a little too much, like I still got the art I'm hoping to lean back on. I can get that going. Just either or. That's what I'm mainly aiming on pushing more from or more with.
Mm-hmm. I also do want to make sure that like while, you know, we're commenting on your artwork here, Trans, and the contributions you've done to the original characters that are in the Rollout Triplane Terminal book, I also want to make sure that Gavin, or Big Green the Conqueror, gets his credit as well, because he from the very beginning, along with Morning Shorts, worked out a lot of designs for these characters, and then Trans, you came in and we had these discussions what works well. And I know Gavin put some inputs on Vega as well, and I was going through that chat the other day, and it's like I'm like, I love all these concept arts, and I wish I could do these. Like, it's just so neat, just to kind of see the process, and then all yours and his concepts got sent off to the artist Shan for Art on Twitter, or X, excuse me, and
X.
Yep. And then they were converted into like fully designed characters, and then they became part of the story and the book. And I'm hoping sometime this year to start working on the sequel to Triplane Turmoil. And there's a character that's in it. As you know, Trans, I'm having you do a design for, because I think you like this character.
Just a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. Yes. I'm happy to get to work on this character.
With ever so minor spoilers ahead, I will say who it is, but Triplane Turmoil 2 is going to feature less original characters and a few like established lore characters to slowly bridge Triplane Turmoil into the actual rollout storyline. And that character being Windblade, and because she was featured in Rollout 2, and she's going to have a World War I alternative aircraft mode, and I'm really curious to see what you do with that, Trans.
I'm excited, honestly, to work on it, because it's what I like about the Triplane Turmoil, because this stuff gets me out of my comfort zone, because I mostly have drawn cars, or just a character with like, a little bit of a like plane kibble, but actually having something like this to play from, to do. So I'm actually excited to see to work on the Windblade.
Mm-hmm. And I had the idea to put Windblade in because I picked up the Legacy Windblade, and like I never was too fond of the character, but I liked her in what I saw of Cyberverse, and then I saw the figure. I'm like, oh, this figure looks pretty cool, and the head sculpt was great, and so I bought it. And it was just a fun figure, and it's nice, and it's like I really want to like increase the number of like fembots I have in my collection as well, and to have more in films. I thought, well, Windblade has appeared once. She's a great design. I'm like, all right, I'll buy the figure and use her more. And then I thought, I love this figure, and I looked up some lore on the TF wiki, as every basic person does. And I was like, you know what? It'd be cool because like I know she has this ability to kind of read people's minds in a way, or kind of communicate with them through their mind. And I figured she could be a great character to help us tell things about Try and his like mental states, and I figured she could be a great supportive character for the story that I want to tell moving forward. All she just needs those World War I plane wingies and just to see how she's gonna look. Yeah. And there's gonna be a connection to Triplane Turmoil 2 and Rollout First Aid, because you see Trichotomus and First Aid fight Starscream and a couple of the Combaticons. So Triplane Turmoil 2 is going to revolve around that as well. And fun fact about the title, Triplane Turmoil is actually a video game, a side-scrolling airplane video game where you fly triplanes and you just like bomb and attack bases. And my favorite game was Triplane Turmoil 2. So I kind of just, that game went down. It's no longer available. But like I took the title of it, and now that I'm working on the sequel, it's like, oh, I'm making a sequel with the title of my favorite game when I was a kid. But so yeah, for anyone who's interested in checking out Trans's art here, again, our socials, for those watching on or listening on YouTube, we have our socials down below. You can find Trans's art there, especially on the Instagrams. There's some good stuff going on there, and I figured we're kind of near the ending here, so we can kind of sort of wrap this up, and doing so, I kind of want to, we always shout out a creator, but the creator I want to shout out is already here with me.
Oh,
hi, Trent.
Hey, what? Wait a minute.
It's just that I've seen snippets of like the artwork that like you're currently working on. It's like, and I really want like your artwork to be seen more, because it is really good. You have such a unique style. Like I can look at your art and go, that's Trans. I want to do my bit. Hey, well, thanks to MK for getting this going, but he's not here, so I can't thank him. We did kind of have a question on the last podcast that I want to mention here very, very quickly. And how do I pronounce it? Yusuf Khan PR, I think the username is. And it says, will you please explore the scenario on what if Sam Witwicky pushed the Allspark into Optimus Prime's spark rather than Megatron's chest? And it's an interesting scenario, and I don't think that's something I would personally want to explore, but the door is open for a lot of what ifs when it comes to the Bayverse, because I've thought about doing a film on the original ending to Dark of the Moon, where Optimus and Megatron did have a truce. And speaking of MK, thank you, MK, for getting the ball rolling on this. We're sorry you couldn't make it, MK, but I'm glad that we were able to work something out. I hope your computer gets fixed soon, because we've also got a Halo Machinima to work on. Right, we gotta get that. We gotta get that going. Trans, thank you so much for stepping in today, and like I like to let you know you're not here just to cover for MK, but I have been wanting to get you on the podcast, so it was an honor to have you here.
Hey, I guess happy to be on here in general. Freaking everything. Shout out to MK for greenlighting me to be on here in his absence. But we could do this was pretty neat. This was actually pretty cool.
It was pretty neat. I can't imagine listening to me talk for 55 minutes straight, just alone. No one to bounce off of. Oh, man. But yeah, we will bring it to an end here. Everybody who listened in and joins in, thank you all for joining. I know the podcasts don't get nearly the same views as everything else, but I find those who listen in, I think, are it's really, really appreciated. You guys are great. It's fun to be able to talk about this kind of stuff more in depth than, say, just a behind the scenes or an update video. The Gigawatt 4 fundraiser is still active at the moment. Should be up for another couple months. We've raised now $600, which is fantastic. That's so much more than I expected. It pretty much, it almost guarantees us that we can snag the figures that we need for the project. So big thanks to everybody who has donated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Trans, you got any last words?
Oh no, other than this was a pretty fun experience and everything. But yeah.
Okay, we will end this here now. We'll call it.
Come T-Frog here, hopping out.
All right, and we will catch you guys in the very next podcast in February, the month of love.
Oh my god.
Very well.
Oh, bye everybody.